In the United States, we get equal rights. No one gets extra rights.
This past Tuesday, we went to Baton Rouge and met Governor Jeff Landry at the governor's mansion. A close ally of President Trump, he dominates Louisiana politics. The colorful, conservative Cajun was the state's attorney general before winning the top job in 2023.
You cannot say that we are all created equal and that states must treat everyone equal under the law and then allow a law to sort people based upon race.
What exactly is the emergency?
We've got the highest court of the land says the map that you have is unconstitutional, so we don't have a map under which our voters can vote on.
This country has held elections during the Civil War, during 2 world wars. Elections still went on.
We're going to have an election, and we're actually going to have an election on Election Day.
But voting was already happening. As we sit here right now, more than 45,000 ballots have been returned. What happens to those?
Oh, those ballots are discarded, and those voters will vote again in November.
You say that like it's not a big deal.
Well, it's not a big deal. It's not my fault. If anybody has a grievance, take it to the United States Supreme Court. Our voters are tired of it. I mean, does not Louisiana deserve some clarity?
How do you want to see this look?
I want Louisiana to be finally unshackled from the decades of litigation.
Would it concern you if there were no African-American representatives from Louisiana in Congress?
That's a decision that the legislature is going to make. But I don't believe that we have to go and draw a district that guarantees us a minority representation.
Redistricting usually happens at the beginning of each decade using census data.
Is the biggest difference now President Trump's in office?
Oh, no. In fact, to me, the president he's irrelevant in this issue right now.
He's been heaping praise on you for this.
Well, I'm sure that the president would like to see the House of Representatives stay in Republican control.
I do have to ask you point blank, has the president asked you to redraw maps in order to help him in the midterm?
The president has not asked me to redraw the maps.
Suggested, in his opinion, that there's less institutional racism today.
Well, I would agree with that. I mean, think about it. Barack Obama was elected twice as the United States president. We've had a number of minorities elected. We've seen a rise of Republican candidates who are black get elected. I mean, are we really trying to drug up the past only to continue a failed narrative?
What's the failed narrative?
Well, the failed narrative is that people in Louisiana are racist, that basically we won't elect black people. I mean, I disagree with that.
A lot of African-American voters in this state might say they need that protection when it comes to the ballot box.
I mean, we go back to Martin Luther King, right? Judge a person based upon the content of their character rather than the color of their skin.
Black voters in Louisiana have told me that they feel like it's true. Someone who looks like you, who has not lived their experience, does not address their concerns as well as someone who has lived their experience.
Well, how is it that a little country boy who grew up in a town that was primarily black, not lived through those experiences?
But I do think a lot of folks might say those experiences are not necessarily the same.
Well, you're saying I should not judge a person just because the person is black, and I agree with that. But isn't it the opposite, that I shouldn't be judged just because I'm white or Hispanic or Indian? I mean, here we are, after all of the different cases, after all of the rectification of the sins of the past, which certainly no one has denied, and yet we're still trying to find some sliver of discrimination in race.
I think a lot of people would say you don't have to try to find it, it's there.
I would say that you find that it would reside in people's hearts, not in their laws.